What up, sunshine? It's Jav here. I have pulled an all-nighter. I didn't really want to, but Ellen was going home, and I had to drop her off at 5. And I wanted to go to bed, but lately I've been going to bed at like 3 or 4. And I tried to go to bed at like 3, and I just kind of laid there. And then I thought, I might as well, I should just get up. So I got up, took her to the airport in Tampa, and then I don't even really remember driving back home. I just remember poof being here. So I'm a little out of it right now. But all-nighters kind of make me think of you because we've had 2 really good all-nighters. The first one, which is actually what made me finally consider you like a friend, was back in high school with Mr. Sibley, where we did the all-nighter in my garage, finishing up our South Park, whatever kind of machine that thing is, which was awesome. And then, of course, there was the epic all-nighter that we broke into the chapel and played Pokemon all night, which thus led to P-Fest. This all-nighter was not that epic, sadly, but they still make me think of you. First, let me talk about some things that you said, because I realize a lot of times I don't really address the things that you say. I just kind of talk about the stuff I want to talk about. So, The Cape, I have not even watched a single episode of it. I keep meaning to get around to watching it, but then, like, NBC cut the season short, which basically means they're going to cancel it. So I was just like, meh, I don't want to watch it. But, I mean, the same thing happened to Firefly, and that's, like, an awesome show. But I haven't heard any awesome things about The Cape. I just hear people going, hey, it's alright. And so that just really doesn't interest me. I completely agree about The Social Network. It was a cool movie. I really liked it. But I don't understand all the acclaim that it's getting. And it's kind of funny because everyone's like going crazy for the screenwriting, which great screenwriting, don't get me wrong. And they're like, oh, the opening scene is like so crazy. It was just like every single episode of West Wing. Because I know Aaron Sorkin. You know, I know how he writes. The very fast-paced, witty, back and forth kind of thing. And so I've seen all 7 seasons of West Wing. So I was watching it and I was just like, oh, this is like West Wing, but younger. So, yeah, I don't understand all the acclaim it's getting. Cool movie, sure. I really enjoyed it, but Best Picture worthy? No. I just finished reading. I know we haven't really talked about Hunger Games. I listened to the first one on audiobook while going to work. Loved it. I tried the second one. I just couldn't really get into it. And I guess Kelsey said that's how I felt about the book too. Couldn't really get into it. Pretty much all the way up until they go back into the arena. But I just couldn't get into it, and I was like, man, I've already read it. I don't want to keep reading it, so I kind of give up on that. But I just finished reading I Am Number 4, which, because there's a movie coming out next week on it, and I found out that it was based on a YA novel, and I was thinking, those are the kind of YA novels that I like. Not the cheesy romantic ones like Twilight, but the action ones like The Hunger Games. I Am Number 4 was awesome. It had a lot more romance than like Hunger Games does, but it's all told through the main perspective of a 15-year-old boy. So like I understood it, and his like best friend's like this nerdy geeky kid, and I was like, okay, that's like me. So I related a lot more to it. I thought it was awesome. I kind of dozed off in like the huge battle at the end, so I'll probably reread that chapter or 2. But the story was really cool, and I'm excited to watch the movie next week for it. So, I have given it much thought, and I finally have decided that I am going to the Writers' Conference. And you're right, I didn't really sell it to you. I kind of told you all the negative stuff of it, which I think maybe at that point subconsciously I wanted you to say that I shouldn't go, but here's what I'm thinking about it. And I agree, you're not supposed to pay, to have someone, an agent and stuff like that. But it's a little different because it's in a conference setting. So, like, you have to pay for all these bonus features. So you're not necessarily paying to meet an agent. It's more you're paying to spend the time with them because, they need to get paid. Otherwise, why would they go? So I'm paying them instead of the conference paying them. But I figure, you know what? Even if they're not that interested in YA stuff, it's at least a chance for me to practice a pitch with someone who's real, and they give feedback like, oh, that was really cool that you said this, but maybe you should add this next time, and kind of stuff like that. And as far as submitting the manuscript, one of the people actually does read YA stuff, so that's kind of cool. And you never know, she might read my 25 pages that I give her and want to have more information about it, which is really cool. But that's not really the reason why I'm going. The reason why I'm going is because all day Saturday and all day Sunday, they are a bunch of 1-hour classes that are broken up in 1-hour blocks all day. So there's like 1 hour on characters, 1 hour on plot, dialogue, how to describe scenery like it's a dream, all stuff like that. This is all coming off the top of my head. And then like during the luncheon, it's like the do's and don'ts of writing your first novels and stuff like that. And I started thinking, you know what, like my writing needs work. Like, I have a lot more that I need to learn, and I'm not doing anything to learn right now. So I think, it'd be really cool for me to go to do that. I'm very sad about giving up the swimming with dolphins. I mean, it's not 100% out of the question. It's more, if we get our budget in line, if we get an awesome tax return or something, maybe that'll happen. But as far as I'm concerned, this is kind of like a birthday present to me because this is something that has potential of helping my future. Because if I can sell a YA novels go from 15,000 to 300,000. Obviously, 300,000 is things like Harry Potter and crap like that, Twilight, stuff like that. My first book could make $15,000. Or if it's like a small, publishing company, then maybe not that much. But I don't want to be an interpreter for my whole life. I want to do something. I want to be something more than that. So I've decided to go to this writing conference. It'll be cool. I'm nervous because I don't really like going places by myself. But we just can't afford for Kelsey to go to, which is too bad because she would go to do all the boring classes. Because at the same time with the creative classes, there's like how to find an agent, how to clean up your pitch, how to do all that stuff. But that's not the stage I'm at right now. So it would be useless for me to go right now. But Kelsey would love to learn more stuff like that. So it'd be cool for her to go to do that. But alas, we can't afford that. So I'm going. And actually today, Dean's putting on a show for you. Actually, today is the last day I have to send in my manuscript, so I've been polishing up the first 25 pages of Exodus. I think I've done 5 drafts of it before I realized it has to be double-spaced. So really, it's only the first 13 pages, which really makes me sad because by 25 pages, you get a really cool feel of... Oh, hi, Giles. You get a really cool feel of the world and him going to the other, and he, by 25 pages, he already wakes up in the other planet. He already sees the people that are chasing him, all that stuff. The first 13 pages really is just this first big action scene and then kind of his life on Earth. So hopefully it's interesting enough that they'll be like, ooh, I want to read more. Speaking of writing, I don't know, have you had a chance to go to the our email and take a look at the Google Docs that I've shared? If not, you should go take a look. All right. Well, I think pretty much the only other thing I wanted to talk about was Disney World. I'm happy with this idea of being able to see you twice. So keep me updated. Let me know, because I know you're still saying if and maybe. Let me know when you finally decide. And hopefully it's not too long away, because I'll start kind of saving aside some money. And once you are a go, like 100% for sure, because plane tickets are non-refundable, then as soon as I get the money, I'll buy your plane ticket. But then we'll be all set to go. And then as far as your family coming later, that would be so cool. I really hope so. Personally, I would suggest coming as early in the summer as possible, because it gets hotter and hotter and more miserable as the summer goes along. Plus, Kelsey's going to get pregnanter, and thus not being able to hang outside all day long and stuff like that. So, stuff to think about. Yeah. I will see you on Monday.